Greetings, YouTubers. How's everybody doing? Well, my neighbor decided that they wanted their heater core put in on their expedition. It was doing the same thing my own was, which was putting out absolutely no heat. This is a 2001, should be the same, but just going to kind of do a little update here and see if I run into any other issues differently. From my 2000 expedition, my white one out front is a 2000, and I just stuck a heater core at the front, and I stuck one in the back. And we're gonna go ahead and put one in this one, and I'm just getting the ice and snow off on it. So I just wanted to kind of shoot some video here, document this, get all the ice and snow off of it, so it doesn't melt in the floor. But we're gonna rip the dash apart, pull the heater hoses off under the hood from the heater core, and stick a new one in. And I got lucky tonight. They actually have one in stock before they close at the parts store by 6 o'clock. So these people, my neighbor's vehicle here, they said that they basically are freezing to death in this thing. Absolutely no heater in there. The temperature gauge goes right up where it should be, right up in the middle, and it is bone cold in there. So we're going to change that and make them happy. So we'll update here a little bit later. We'll get some things tore apart inside the dash and let you know how it's going. We'll take a look at that heater core and stick another one in. Now, if you want to know how to do this step by step, I have a video. I will post a link somewhere right about here, and you can click on that and go in there and watch how to install a heater core in a 2000 Expedition. I believe it's from 1999 to about 2003. The heater core process should be the same on these Expeditions. The front heater core. Now, I did the back one not long ago. I have a video on that, so maybe I'll try to squeeze in another link in the video. So let's get to it before it gets any colder. All right, kids, and I don't mean that in a condescending way. I'm old, and I'm sure you're a lot younger. Anyway, got the dash pulled out. It's in the garage, and tell you what, let's go to the other side. It'll be a lot easier to look at what I've done so far. And after you do a couple of these dashes, they're not that bad to do. You kind of get used to where the screws and bolts are. But you can see I have it pulled away. And it's back pretty far, and here's where the heater core is. And behind this panel here, I just got all the screws out, and this piece here will come off. I'll take it in there. I'll have to fiddle with it with both hands, but your heater core is back in there. And I'll give you a couple tips here. If you're going to do any kind of dash work, your best friend you can have right here is a magnet. Why? Because there are some screws behind this panel that are kind of hard to get to, and they're kind of hidden with these little screws on this particular cover over the heater core. And they're down in there quite a ways, and it's nice to have this to drop the screw down and to start it, then put your socket on it. And also, when you take this out, you can't get it off the socket. It just falls back down in there. Take your magnet and just go and pull it out. This is a very handy thing to have. All right, but there's a look at the dash. And notice I didn't take the radio out of this. I may have taken one or two extra screws out that I didn't have to, but it's a little confusing when you're pulling this dash out which screws to take off. But if you just kind of follow the book, or if you watch the other reviews and videos, you'll get the hang of it. But right now, all I have to do is pull this plastic piece off the cover here that's hiding this heater core. Let me go ahead and do that, and I'll give you a look at it, because I'm going to have to use both hands because I don't have a lot of space right here. The door doesn't quite open all the way up. I'm in a small garage, but eventually I will have a bigger one. So let me go ahead and pull this out here and give you a look at it. Go ahead and take this out of here. Now, like I said earlier, this is not a tutorial. This is just kind of hit and miss here of what this is actually like on this particular expedition. This is only a year different than my other one, and that's out of the way. Oh, by the way, if you're working on the expedition, this one, there is a plastic nipple that sticks up right here. It's hidden, and you can't just pull this out like this. You have to lift up on the back a little bit and wiggle it, then pop it off. And I don't know if I get up here, you might be able to see this. Nah, it's down in there. There is a small little, well, maybe you can see it if I shine the light. Right about there. Let me zoom in. This is going to be a rough job zooming in. Bear with me a second. I think you can see that right there. See that little thing sticking up there? That little nipple right there. I'm gonna see if I can point my finger at it. Right there. That thing catches on that plastic, and it makes it, you just can't pull it straight off. You gotta kind of lift up on it. And here are the other. You see these holes right there. 1, 2, 3. And that's where the little nipple sticks up. That's where those hidden screws are. You got to kind of use a deep well to get a little socket to get down in there, and it's a 7mm on that, I believe. So that's out, and here is the heater core. Oops. You know what? I need to grab my light. There we go. There we go, and there's the blend door. I'm going to have to hook the wire up and turn the battery, hook the battery up and turn the switch on and cycle that so that blend door will close. But that is the heater core, and that baby is ready to come out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out and give you a look at it, and we'll put the other one in. And that'll give you some idea, you know, what you have to go through. If you don't want to sit through my other video, which is about 30 minutes long, of tearing this apart. And trust me, it looks a lot worse than it is. Actually, it's not as bad as it is, I should say. Once you do this a couple of times and figure out where all the screws are, it will come off. So, all right, enough talking. Let me go ahead and pull the heater core out and put the new one in. I want to show you real quick how this blend door works. Right, sorry for the beeping. It'll stop here in a second. It's on cold right now, the selector. If I turn it to hot, it'll open up. If I get my fingers in there, see how it opens? These things break a lot, and when they do, you're pretty much stuck with either cold or hot. And there goes close. So you might want to check your blend door, make sure it's working if you don't have any heat. So I thought that would be interesting to look at. Alright, so here comes the heater core. I got it disconnected from the outside, and we'll take it out here and look at it. There it is. This is the factory one. It's never been changed, and it's full of antifreeze still. And there is the old one, and here is the brand new one, and pretty much the same. Of course, I bent my hoses a little bit. Now on my hoses here that I tuck off, you see here, I did break this guy right here off. Get a light set up right here. It's supposed to look like that, but now it looks like that. So I'm just going to cut this off here and put a clamp on there. I have a regular hose. These are 5/8 regular hose lines that you can buy, and they slide right on there. So I'm just going to put a clamp on there. It's probably better that way anyway, because you have to deal with these seals and stuff. You have to slide all these back on, but sometimes these are kind of hard to get off. But I'm just going to put a hose on there and put a clamp on there, and you can do the same thing. If you don't want to have to fool with your these guys here, these clips and stuff, just cut them off right here and slide the hoses back on and put clamps on there. Now it's a little tight back there, but you can do it if you just take your time. You can get you some small clamps, and I have probably tons and tons of clamps. Yeah, I got this whole thing full of clamps, so I should be okay. I always unhook these last, pull the heater core out through the insulation, take all this stuff off first, put your hands up under there and get rid of this stuff first. Sometimes this will come off with a hose. These clamps, these disconnect clamps here, hoses, connectors. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But most of the time I have good luck. This one here might have already been broken. I don't know. It didn't take much to break that. So there you go. There's a look at it. Brand new, old one, bye-bye. Before we finish up here and give you a look after it's all back together, I did want to say that I did just cut off this disconnect here. I just whacked it off, and probably not going to be able to see up under, but I got a clamp on that hose, which is right about there. You can kind of see it on the right, and I just stuck the disconnect on the left one, just like it was from the factory. So if you break these, you can't get them off, don't fret. Just cut them off, get you some clamps, and you can put a clamp on it, and it'll hold just fine. And if you can, use a little socket. But believe it or not, there is enough room under there to put a clamp if you angle it a certain way. Because if you angle it that way, there seems to be more room on the left side up there to get your hands in there. So that's that. So that's all done out here. So all I got to do is finish up the dash. We'll start it up here. I don't know if we'll do it tonight or tomorrow. But we'll start it up and check out the amazing heat I hope to have. Okay, everyone, a brand new day. I finished it up last night and I drove it, and I'm out driving it today, and it worked out really good. I don't have any leaks on the engine or anything, and my hoses are in good shape back there. By the way, this is a 4.6 also, and we'll go inside and I'll show you the temperature right now. It's kind of idling here, and 121 degrees, and the temperature is pretty much up where it should be, and it made a tremendous difference. So just a little update, and kind of show you that you know, these Expeditions, a lot of them have heater core issues, and if you want to replace one, not too bad to do if you have some time and a space to do it. So other than that, that's it. We got a big snowstorm coming, and I'm sure my friends, my neighbors are going to be happy that they got some heat in their vehicle finally, and maybe they'll enjoy the snow while they're driving also and staying warm. Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. Until my next video, I'll chat with you guys then. Stay cool.